Welcome in to let me see, get my bearings, Thursday edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. I was out yesterday, and it was, well, it was a mixed bag because I hate to be away from you. I hate to miss a show, but it was a wonderful day. I spent it with my daughter. We went to the Cincinnati Open tennis tournament. She starts school today. I wanted to spend a day with her, and we had a wonderful day. It was great to get away from the headlines, but I come back to the same kind of headlines that we talk about every single day: the demonization of police officers and the overt attempt by authorities not to defend police officers who are doing their duty, but to demonize and charge them with every single possible thing that they can. That is where we begin this edition of the Bruce Hooley Show. And there are plenty of places out there where you can find the name of the Blendon Township police officer who was charged with an array of things related to the shooting death of Takaya Young. You will not hear his name on this show unless I screw up. I try to black it out in every news story that I refer to so I don't unconsciously and unintentionally mention it, because these charges are an utter farce. It is my hope, but not my belief, that he will be exonerated before he has to sit through a trial. Because he should not be charged with anything. 21-year-old Takaya Young was a criminal. She was engaged in a criminal enterprise, collaborating with her friends to steal expensive liquor from a Kroger store in Blendon Township. Store employees noticed it and reported it to the two officers from Blendon Township who were in the parking lot assisting a woman who had been locked out of her car. The officers went over and gave Takaya Young ample opportunity to both roll down the window of her car and interact with them, and get out of her car and surrender to police or be questioned about the crimes the officers had every reason to believe she had committed based upon what had been told to them by the Kroger store employee. She did neither. She then accelerated her car with the officer who is charged with her murder, laughably enough, standing in front of her car, thus weaponizing her car, thus giving the officer justifiable reason to fire his weapon. The one shot went through her windshield and killed her. That is obviously unfortunate. It is not what the officer wanted, but it was precipitated 100% by the actions of Takaya Young. 100%. And so that is why I will not mention the officer's name on this show. Now, Franklin County is prosecuting this case using an attorney from Montgomery County, which is over by Dayton, to do its dirty work, because no one in the Franklin County prosecutor's office, no individual attorney, wants to handle this case, because they know if they do, they will never get the cooperation of anybody in the Columbus Police Department, Westerville Police Department, any police department in Central Ohio. So they have to bring in an outside hitman to do the job. And it's very interesting when you listen to the audio from local television stations quoting this attorney from Montgomery County. It's very interesting what he says, what he does not say, and what questions he does not answer. A lot of times you can tell a lot about a person, about a situation, when people duck obvious questions or when they ignore salient facts to the case. That is the first thing that I thought of when I listened to Assistant Montgomery County Prosecutor Richard Glennon try to position the facts of this case, and of course make his case sound like it is a justifiable prosecution of this Blendon Township officer. Listen to Richard Glennon, Montgomery County, present the facts of the case. You know them. I've given them to you. Notice what he includes and notice what he does not include.
There was absolutely no justification for Takaya Young to lose her life that day or her unborn child's life that day. And my job is to attain justice for it. That's what we're going to do. And an officer is entitled to use deadly force if he believes serious physical harm is threatened to him. Refusing to comply with an officer's order is not a death sentence. Petty shoplifting is not a death sentence. A person has to present a threat of serious physical harm in order for an officer to use deadly force. The video is out there, and the only person who ever presented a threat of serious physical harm was the defendant, and that's why he's being accused today.
So did he not just exonerate the officer charged in this case? I believe he did. An officer is allowed to discharge his weapon when he is facing serious physical harm that is a threat to him. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to be run over by a person's car. Would you? I'm assuming that's a unanimous no. The officer was standing in front of her car. Why was he doing that? Because it is a trained police tactic for minor offenses like shoplifting, so that people will not drive away. Because, of course, we can't chase people when they drive away. We can't chase criminals. So he's doing what he's trained to do. And then she tries to run him over, or at least gives him ample reason to believe she is trying to run him over. Now, I want you to listen to the last part of that statement from Richard Glennon, the piece of garbage prosecutor from Montgomery County who comes over here, because it is in response to a question from 10 TV's Kevin Landers. I credit Kevin Landers a lot for asking a very obvious question here. A lot of times we ignore the obvious questions. We get caught up, our passions cause us to overlook the most obvious question. And Kevin Landers here asks the most obvious question of Richard Glennon. And listen how expansively Richard Glennon answers, or rather does not answer, this very obvious question from Kevin Landers.
Do you believe the video shows her hitting the officer with a car?
The video speaks for itself.
One more time. Do you believe the video shows her hitting the officer with her car? See, we've answered the question. He has. She was shoplifting. She shouldn't die for shoplifting. The officer didn't have justification. Okay, well, we have body cam. We got it all on video. We got it all. We hear the audio. Kevin Landers didn't say anything other than the most simple question, which is, do you believe that the video shows the officer being hit by her car? What is the answer from the attorney brought in here from Montgomery County to prosecute this case?
Do you believe the video shows her hitting the officer with a car?
The video speaks for itself, and the video shows the officer presenting a threat of serious physical harm, and it shows the officer being the only person who presented a threat of serious physical harm.
No, it doesn't. No, the video does not show that the officer is the only one presenting a threat of serious physical harm. What does the video show? What were you asked? Does the video show her hitting the officer with her car? Yes, it does. Why will he not answer it? Because it disproves his case. Because it justifies the throwing out of every charge in this case. And that is why he will not answer it. And of course, we have an array of other people who are propping this up, most notably race grifter attorney Sean Walton, a Ben Crump wannabe who was taking the case for Takaya Young's family. Takaya Young's grandmother accompanied Mr. Walton yesterday at the press conference, where he was talking about how this is a great decision by the Franklin County grand jury that indicted this innocent officer from Blendon Township.
This indictment speaks to the resilience and persistence of those who demand accountability when gross misuses of power occur. Contrastingly, we're not victims. To use Morrissey's law to cloak officers from facing the consequences of their actions is an insult to every victim of police violence, an inversion of justice, and moral accountability. The road to this point has been long. Yet we can assert that although this journey has been a very tough one, the right conclusion was reached by the grand jury.
No, sorry, wrong. I know, Sean, you'd like to cash a big check off this case. I get it. You'll never get to be Ben Crump unless you get cities to pay you millions of dollars for cases that police officers were perfectly justified in doing what they did. Cases like Ma'Khia Bryant, cases like Breonna Taylor, cases like Takaya Young. But sorry, I certainly hope you don't win a red cent off of this. I get why you want to, because Casey Goodson's family got paid off, but I hope you don't win.
And cloudy, a high 89 for tonight. Clouds, some late showers and a thunderstorm, low 67. For tomorrow, clouds with showers and a thunderstorm, the high 83. Friday night, low 69. Saturday, cloudy with some showers and a heavy thunderstorm, high 87. Sunday, clouds and sun with some thunder showers, high 79. I'm Andy Robb on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
There are thousands of colleges that offer a quality education, but at Ohio Christian University, you're not just a student, you're part of a close...
In the aftermath of the murder, the statement for excusable. Neither the courage.
And this man had 4 counts of murder, walk out the jail.
Video shows her hitting the
and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at tra.com or call 800-575-6745. That's 800-575-6745. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
The Caribbean is calling. Dennis Prager here. Join me on an unforgettable cruise to the Caribbean this November. Imagine 9 days of basking in the sun surrounded by the stunning beauty of a tropical paradise. We'll cruise to the vibrant islands of Half Moon Cay, Curacao, Bonaire, Turks and Caicos, and much more. Stroll through Curaçao's iconic pastel-colored shops and snorkel in Bonaire's world-class coral reefs. You'll enjoy some of the most delicious cuisine aboard Holland America's Rotterdam, a fantastic destination itself with riveting shows and breathtaking views. We'll be joined by special guest Sean McDowell, and we'll both share fresh insights, current events, discuss happiness, and our future in America in light of the election. November 29th to December 8th of this year. Secure your spot today by calling 855-565-5519 or online at pragercruise.com.
I'm CPA Brad Hennebert with Premier Tax CPAs, and the true value of using a CPA is getting guidance throughout the year, not just at tax time. During the year, we can actively advise you on your financial and tax planning and other major business decisions, just like an outside CFO. Too often, when you see your accountant only at tax time, we're really only keeping score of what you did last year. We'll prepare a comprehensive tax plan to maximize your deductions and minimize the tax you pay, and present you with money-saving options you may not have ever considered. We'll update your financial position each quarter, so there are no nasty surprises at tax time. At Premier Tax CPAs, we like to have consultations with our clients throughout the year because important financial information is only useful if it's timely. At Premier Tax CPAs, we're a firm that can work with you and your business throughout the year to help you make decisions before it's too late. Give us a call at Premier Tax CPAs at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
PatriotSwitch.com products I'm super passionate about because, number one, they're great. And if I watched a great movie, by the way, I'm going to tell you about a great movie coming up that you will not want to miss. But if I watched a great movie or ate a great meal, that's why I talk to you about Riverbend Ranch steaks, right? Because they're great and I want you to enjoy them. Same with PatriotSwitch.com products, the deodorant, the mouthwash, the toothpaste, the laundry detergent, the makeup for women, and on and on and on. 450 plus products are all great products. That's the first reason. Second reason is because it's a consumer movement to take market share away from woke corporations. Unilever, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola, Heinz, all those companies that donate to causes. Democratic National Committee, Planned Parenthood, Black Lives Matter, Human Rights Campaign, on and on and on. They're taking your money and they're giving it to those causes and campaigning against you and screwing around with Google search results. Can't wait to tell you about that as the show unfolds. But what I really like to tell you about is PatriotSwitch.com. So if you're interested in buying the same products you're already buying from a company that's family owned, that donates to pro-patriot causes, then you want to know more about PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce. So use it. Go to PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce. Leave your info. I'll reach out and we will get you informed about PatriotSwitch.com/Bruce. You, like I, have likely been frustrated by the fact that a lot of times people get charged with crimes, and then when they finally get before a judge, if they get before a judge, the charges have been dramatically reduced. Was I talking to you last week? Somebody was indicted for like 3 counts of murder or something, and then all of a sudden they got before the judge, and then all those counts had gone away. Ooh, poof, gone. Well, the Blendon Township police officer, who is charged stupidly in what was clearly a justifiable shooting of Takaya Young. And just because something's justifiable doesn't mean that it's desirable. Like, it's not desirable that Breonna Taylor got shot and killed in Louisville, Kentucky. It's her own fault. She was sleeping with, that particular night, a wanted felon who fired first at police officers. When the police officers returned fire, Breonna Taylor was shot and killed. That's very unfortunate. It's also justified. Yet she remains a hero. And Takaya Young's a hero because she was pregnant. She's seated in her car. I don't know how the officers in Blendon Township are supposed to know that she's pregnant while she's seated in her car and refuses to get out of her car. And I really don't know what the relevancy of that is. I mean, we're way more upset, aren't we, in the social justice circles of Columbus, Ohio, that Takaya Young was shot and killed while pregnant than we are that a Brooke DeVinny was pregnant and beaten to death by a boyfriend of hers, Devon Blair, who happened to be black. You know what else differentiates the case between Devon Blair and the case against this Blendon Township officer? People are super mad that the Blendon Township officer is out on $250,000 bail. Now, if you don't believe me, listen to the grandmother of Takaya Young complaining about the fact that the bond was set too low for this Blendon Township police officer who poses absolutely no threat at all to the community, unless, of course, he happens upon another shoplifter who tries to run him over with her car. But of course, now he can't carry a weapon because he's under indictment for murder. But listen to the grandmother here complaining about the $250,000 bail for this Blendon Township police officer.
The Supreme Court has given us Graham v. Connor.
I got the wrong cut. My bad. Let me call the grandma. Let me call the grandma to the stage. Here she is complaining about the bail for the Blendon Township police officer.
And this man had 4 counts of murder, and there's no way he should have got no $250,000 bond. I'm hurt. That what they just did was wrong, because it's just letting him walk out the jail.
All right, but I fully understand that she wants her granddaughter to be alive. I get that, and I guess she may not be the most objectionable, or may not be the most objective source on this. But they set the bail at this officer at $250,000. Refresh my memory, would you please? What was the bond for Devon Blair from Franklin County Common Pleas Court Judge Michael Holbrook? Yes, the Devon Blair who had already spent time in prison for domestic violence against another woman, who had then gotten out of prison after 2 months of, what was it, a 19-month sentence? He got out in 2 months, I think. Then he charms his way or beats his way or bludgeons his way into Brooke DeVinny's life, likely gets her pregnant. I don't know if he's the father of her now dead child or not. Beats her to death after threatening her with a knife, pulling her hair, dragging her across the front porch, making her take her clothes off, run out into the street in December. He's got a criminal record for the exact same offense. He commits the exact same offense, and his bond for Michael Holbrook is 0. Where's Grandma Young then to complain about the low bail for a known criminal, Devon Blair? Oh, she's nowhere to be found. Neither is the woke prosecutor from Franklin County, or excuse me, from Montgomery County, who's prosecuting this case. They're nowhere to be found. When a black career criminal, Devon Blair, gets out, when he's already shown you he's not safe, and a judge in Franklin County gives him no bail so he can beat his girlfriend and her unborn child to death, that unborn child matters. Not at all, but Takaya Young's unborn child matters a lot. And why does Takaya Young's unborn child matter a lot? Well, you know, the unlikely source who's going to clear that all up for us is none other than Montgomery County Assistant Prosecutor Richard Glennon, the guy who's coming after the Blendon Township police officer. He's going to tell us the difference. He's going to tell us why it's okay Devon Blair got out with no bail, a black career criminal, and he's going to tell us why a white police officer doing his duty to perfection gets $250,000 bail. He's also going to tell us why the baby of Takaya Young, who the officers had no way of knowing was in her womb at the time, he's going to tell us why that baby matters, and the baby of Brooke DeVinny doesn't matter at all, even though it lost its life when Devon Blair beat her to death after providing ample preview of coming attractions that he eventually would murder her. Tell us, Richard Glennon, why? According to the Columbus Dispatch, Glennon said the indictment charges the Blendon Township police officer with, and I quote, every crime that could be applicable, not wanting to leave any stone unturned. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're a career criminal, if you commit the exact same offense, go to prison for it, which Devon Blair did, then end up in front of a Franklin County judge charged with the exact same crime against a different victim, you get no bail. You get released on your own recognizance, so you can murder that girl a couple of months later and murder her unborn child. But if you're a Blendon Township police officer and Takaya Young tries to run you over with her car and you have no idea that she's pregnant, well, then you get charged with everything, even though you asked her to get out of the car and she wouldn't. And even though you had no idea that she was pregnant. I mean, I guess points for honesty, right? Points for honesty that you say, yeah, we're not going to leave any stone unturned. Of course not. Of course not. Because, hey, man, in Montgomery County, where Democrats rule, in Franklin County, where Democrats rule, this is like red meat, right? I can run on the fact that I got a police officer put in prison for shooting a criminal engaged in a planned criminal enterprise. I can run on that and I can get elected, and maybe I'll be Montgomery County prosecutor, and maybe I'll become, like, I don't know, state house representative or even governor.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Donald Trump is asking the judge in his New York hush money criminal case to delay his sentencing until after the November presidential election. The two vice presidential hopefuls have agreed to debate each other. Will take place October 1st, hosted by CBS. Americans in more of a buying mood last month. Retail spending was up by the most in 18 months. Wall Street is pleased. The benchmarks have been sharply higher this morning. Could be a rough weekend weather-wise on Bermuda as Hurricane Ernesto approaches. Ernesto is not expected to menace the east coast of the U.S. Number of Americans applying for unemployment fell last week, dropping by 7,000 from the week before to 227,000. And watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 439 points for a gain of over 1%. The Nasdaq 335 points higher. More details at srnnews.com.
Our government has engorged itself on borrowed money. Now we are over $30 trillion in debt. If this bubble finally implodes, many Americans will be left penniless and heartbroken. For example, what happens if state and federal pension funds go broke? or 401ks and IRAs get cut in half due to hyperinflation. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnow, news analyst, best-selling author, and evangelical leader to millions of people just like you. People who understand something big is coming. Now's the time to prepare with a physical gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals are among the most proven hedges you can make. And they're even better inside a tax advantage account. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH, F-A-I-T-H, to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached, so just text FAITH to the number 989898 right now, and I pray you are blessed with continued
news, opinion, passion. Here, 98.9 FM, The Answer, anywhere you go. With The Answer's mobile app at 989theanswer.com. Also on your smart speakers, tune in, or iHeart.
Do you just grin and bear it or bite the bullet when it comes to everyday pain? Don't. Try Relief Factor, a drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it. It's 100% drug-free, it's developed by doctors. In 3 weeks or less, you'll know whether it works for you like it works for me. Try Relief Factor for yourself. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-511-1551. 800-511-1551.
Want service that's in tune with your needs? It's time to get the kitchen of your dreams. Update, upgrade, uplift with Kitchen Tune-Up. It's amazing what a cabinet refacing will do to liven up your space. In and out in just 1 week with no demo. And keep in mind, if you're thinking of selling, a gorgeous kitchen can significantly increase your home's value. 0% financing is available right off Wilson Bridge Road in Worthington. Go to kitchentuneup.com for a free in-home estimate. Update, upgrade, uplift with Kitchen Tune-Up.
Dennis Prager here, inviting you to join me on a cruise to the Caribbean this November. I'll share fresh insights about our world today, all while soaking up a tropical Caribbean paradise with you. Call 855-565-5519 or at PragerCruise.com.
I'll be a busy boy today because I'll be out at 2 different homes of people who've contacted me about new flooring in their homes. How do you do that? BruceHooley.com. Click flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Leave your information or call me, and I will be out as soon as I possibly can because I want you to enjoy your beautiful new flooring as soon as possible, and that'll be a lot sooner than if you try to get it from another place like a big box store. Oh, yeah. I mean, they're located in areas of town that are easy to find. You know, those are high rent districts. And guess what? They pass the cost of that high rent on to you. Guess what? Their trucks don't return from the mills in Georgia until they are fully loaded, but our trucks deliver every single day. And so you'll get your carpet, your new flooring in so much faster and for so much less money. Does that appeal to you? Then go to BruceHooley.com and click flooring in the upper right-hand corner of the page. BruceHooley.com, click that flooring tab in the upper right-hand corner of the page. Before we move on from the stupid, ridiculous indictment of the Blendon Township police officer, who I will not name, for the shooting death of Takaya Young last August when she was stealing liquor in tandem with other thieves with whom she planned the attack on the Kroger store over in Blendon Township. I want to play you one soundbite from the attorney for this innocent Blendon Township officer who clearly states why the law is on the case of the officer in this particular instance.
The Supreme Court has given us Graham v. Connor as an outline for that. And every way we interpret that with regards to this video here, it will be a justified use of force. From my perspective, and the Stevens perspective, and the experts that we've talked to, once you move a car from standing still into a moving position and you hit a police officer, you have actually committed what's called a felonious assault. You've weaponized that vehicle to become a deadly weapon. So there is no doubt that this contact, there's no doubt that his feet, half of his body was up on top of the car, and she posed a threat to him at that point in time. And it's not about the petty theft. The petty theft has nothing to do with this. The crime at hand is a felonious assault on an officer with a motor vehicle. That's the crime that the case law in the Supreme Court talks about. Nothing to do with the petty theft.
Now, it is serendipity, irony, or just God's sense of humor that that attorney's statement that once you turn a stationary car into a moving car, you've committed felonious assault and you can do great harm with it. It is ironic that that was proven just last night after 6 o'clock when Columbus police were called to the Linden area of the city after a guy wanted for assault was seen in the area. And so the cops go to the area and they're trying to arrest this guy who's wanted for a felony of stabbing somebody. And this guy was in a car and it was stationary. And then it wasn't. He backed it into a Columbus police cruiser and then took off. Now, they did not deploy stop sticks. They did not engage in a high-speed chase, but he must have thought they did because shortly thereafter, after hitting and damaging police cruisers by backing into them and fleeing the area, the man lost control of his vehicle in the area of Medina and East 22nd Avenue and struck a tree. He also sustained critical injuries, was transported to Wexner Medical Center, where he was later pronounced dead at 7:06 p.m. So it appears the attorney is correct that when you step on the gas, turning a stationary car into a moving car, it can indeed become a dangerous thing. At least in this case, the right person ended up dead because he fooled around and he found out. Now, there is no justification for the data breach that the city of Columbus has suffered, and doubly no justification for the fact that the incompetent mayor of Columbus, Andrew Ginther, continues to downplay it. Nothing to see here is Andy's mantra on the data breach that every single day seems to get worse for the people who have been hacked. And I got to wonder, how long before this results in someone calling for the ouster of Mayor Andrew Ginther? I mean, I really got to wonder on this, right? Because while I was out yesterday, I didn't get the opportunity to share with you audio from Andrew Ginther's press conference on Tuesday morning talking about the data breach. He's been criticized even by the angry Bobcat childless cat lady Amelia Robinson and the woke Columbus Dispatch, which typically can't wait to proffer its tongue to shine Andy Ginther's shoes. Even the Dispatch said Ginther has not been transparent on this data breach with the city's residents, with the employees of the Columbus Division of Police, with the employees of municipal court. It turns out even more people who've been compromised by this data breach, maybe even me, I don't know. But we always keep our credit record frozen, so it's much harder for people to steal anything that could really harm us. But you should look into it because I'll give you the list momentarily of who's been compromised. But here's what Andy Ginther had to say on Tuesday morning that I didn't get the chance to share with you yesterday that you'll definitely want to remember when I share details that have come to light since Ginther made this statement.
I can now share that the personal data that the threat actor published to the dark web was either encrypted or corrupted. The majority of the data obtained by the threat actor is completely and totally unusable. The threat actor claimed to have 6.5 terabytes of data, but our forensics indicate they have far less. We believe that the screenshots of the data files are the most compelling asset they had, but that sensitive files were either encrypted or corrupted, making them totally unusable.
So big sigh of relief, right? I mean, Andy Ginther's got his top two cybersecurity experts on this case, Beavis and Butthead, and they say there was absolutely nothing to see here, and it's been encrypted and nothing to worry about, except There is a cybersecurity expert by the name of David Leroy Ross who tells both Channel 6 and Channel 4 that that's not true. That is not true. Here is what that expert told WSYX Channel 6. I am utterly, he looked into, by the way, what's out there. And he says, I am utterly disgusted, absolutely disgusted. There's data on birth dates, social security numbers. There are cases of juveniles here too. That's not good. Driver's license information. Have you looked at your driver's license lately? And pull it out. If you're not driving right now, pull it out, take a look at it. What all's on there? Your name, your date of birth, your address, your driver's license number. Is your social on there anymore? I think it might be. I don't know, maybe if it's not, but that seems like an ample amount of data on you that could cause you problems with credit bureaus and the like. This cybersecurity expert is local, and he was able to open a Columbus City attorney database from the hacked data with hundreds of, thousands, hundreds, not thousands, hundreds of thousands of names of defendants, witnesses, and victims, including domestic violence survivors. Yay! You get beat up by Devon Blair. Guess what? You get your data hacked too. It's a double play, double victory for you. And Andy Ginther says nothing to worry about. The cybersecurity expert says it popped up with everything. My social security number, my address, my email. I felt vulnerable. I felt gut-wrenched. So what did he do? He says he called the FBI and several city offices to let them know what he discovered. He said, I tried calling as many offices as I could. I contacted the prosecutor's office. They're aware. I did try contacting the technology office. Andrew Ginther's office, my message went straight to voicemail and no contacts called back from the city. Well, you know, it was a beautiful day yesterday, and Andy had a tea time at OSU Scarlet, I am sure. What a moron this guy is. To tell the citizens of Columbus, nothing to worry about. Don't freeze your credit. Don't change your passwords. It's encrypted. You're all fine. Meanwhile, you're exposed for however long it took between his inane, inaccurate statement yesterday and me telling you now that it's flat not true. Not true. And this cybersecurity expert tells Channel 4 that what he has discovered is only a sample of the data. He was able to find server records from City Attorney Zach Klein's office, Chief Doofus, as well as the, you'll love this, the ID scanning system used to enter Columbus City Hall. Enter Columbus City Hall, you got to swipe your driver's license, boom, you're hacked. The leak scanner's database includes a searchable list of driver's license numbers, home addresses, and full names of anyone who may have visited the building for functions like a city council meeting. The database contains 471,000 entries, although some could be duplicates. NBC4 found that some of its own employees were included. They checked the data and the employees go, yeah, that's my stuff. That's all accurate. Oh, Andy. This could really mess up a mayor's summer, you know? He's hoping to get out there for some really good fall golf. Well, he might have time for some really good fall golf at OSU Scarlet because if anybody decides to hold him accountable, he might have a lot of free time on his hands.
89 for tonight. Clouds, some late showers and a thunderstorm, low 67. For tomorrow, clouds with showers and a thunderstorm, the high 83. Friday night, low 69. Saturday, cloudy with some showers and a heavy thunderstorm, high 87. Sunday, clouds and sun with some thunder showers, high 79. I'm Andy Robb on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
The Tilton family at Tilton's Automotive Service has been serving our community with state-of-the-art equipment for nearly 35 years. From oil changes to detailing to complete engine replacement, we're here to serve you to the highest levels and make you part of the family. All our repairs are backed by a 36-month, 36,000-mile warranty. Check out our mobile app for discounts and specials.
Okay.
Tilton's Automotive Service, in the shadow of Anheuser-Busch in Columbus and just off Creekside in Gahanna. For more info, check out tiltonsauto.com. Take it to Tilton's.
From the Kendrick brothers, the creators of War Room.
Clever. It's hard for a woman to call out the man and her son. I just need some prayer support. We pray that the Lord will open Isaiah's eyes so that he could see himself the way that the Lord sees him.
What kind of man do you want to be? Isaiah, welcome to The Forge.
The Forge, in theaters August 23rd. Rated PG, parental guidance suggested. Tickets and showtimes at theforgemovie.com.
Seth Polhaus brings hope and insight as he fights against socialism and communism on the Man in America podcast, now available on the Salem Podcast Network.
The role of the digital world in shaping our perception of the real world cannot be overlooked. It seems like all of these mechanisms are dividing us in endless ways.
Subscribe to Man in America today on Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, Rumble, or at SalemPodcastNetwork.com.
You'll sleep better knowing you got a great deal on a great mattress because you got it from Mac Mattress Outlet and the Discount Shopping Club. Right now, get a $500 certificate from Mac Mattress Outlet toward any mattress purchase for only $250. These certificates go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. For details, log on to the Discount Shopping Club at 989theanswer.com.
Mattress Outlet.
Are everyday aches and pains keeping you on the sidelines, preventing you from living your best life? Let me introduce you to Relief Factor. It's the supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. If everyday aches and pains are keeping you from enjoying the summertime activities, can't be out there with the grandkids, gosh, I hope you'll reach out to Relief Factor and let's see if we can get you out of pain. Wherever you're hurting, whether it's your back, your neck, your joints, your muscles, in 3 weeks or less, I'll bet you'll start to feel the difference all day, every day, like I did. Go to relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com, or call 1-800-4-RELIEF, 800-4-RELIEF. You'll save on your first order. Relief Factor can help you feel good again and let you enjoy all your favorite outdoor activities all summer long. Fight pain naturally, like I do with Relief Factor. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF.
Planning for retirement is no small task. If you don't know where to start, join Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group every Saturday at 10 and 2 for Retire Ready Ohio. Rodney shares helpful tips and strategies that just might change the course of your retirement. Listen every Saturday at 10 and 2 to Retire Ready Ohio with Rodney Peters of Peters Wealth Group. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services are offered through Peters Wealth Group, a state-registered investment advisor.
MyPillow.com products are fantastic. A little sad day in the Hooley household. Second daughter leaving for college. She leaving with a MyPillow? You bet, of course. I want her to sleep well. And if you would like to send your daughter or son off to college, or say, hey, sorry, they got out the door before I could order the MyPillow at $25. Well, you know what? The mail service delivers to wherever they are. How nice would it be to get a MyPillow in the mail, a big package from mom or dad? It would be fantastic, and they would sleep better too. Now, you can also add Giza Dream bed sheets. You can add a single bed MyPillow mattress topper. Don't know of any colleges that have beds bigger than singles. Don't know of any companies that save you more money than MyPillow. They're always lowering prices as they find that the more they are attempted to be canceled by big box stores, the fewer store stocking fees they have to pay, and the more they can pass that savings on to you. A great company with great products and great savings. MyPillow.com. Use my promo code Bruce. MyPillow.com. Promo code Bruce. So the Kamala Harris campaign is trying to run out the clock and not answer any questions about their policy positions. And now that we have an agreed upon debate between Harris and Donald Trump, it will be interesting to see if Harris does more than one. My guess is no, because she's gaining or has even overtaken Trump in the polls. The Democratic National Committee convention is next week. The presumption is that the Democrats will gain a bump from that poll, that the vibe and the joy will be so overwhelming that Kamala Harris will soar past Trump in the polls. And she might. Or a scene may play out more than once, like played out yesterday in New York City, where wacko, terrorist-loving Hamas supporters stormed into an after party at a Harris Walz campaign event and wreaked violence and mayhem at that event. I thought maybe when they dumped Joe Biden and went with Kamala, who is clearly much more pro-Hamas than she is pro-Israel, I thought maybe the Hamas people might put their scarves away and might shut up, being happy that they have a San Francisco radical at the top of the ticket. But it does not appear so, as more and more of Kamala's joyously vibey rallies are being interrupted by people chanting that she is into genocide. So we'll keep our eye on that. But we also know that we now have an official J.D. Vance-Tim Walz debate. Only one. Vance wants to do more, but Walz, of course, won't do it in advance of early voting because he doesn't want to be challenged on stage about his very sketchy record inflating his military service. Now, this is how Democrats conflate the issue. Now, Tim Walz's defense for repeatedly incorrectly stating his rank when he retired from the National Guard is to say no one's military service should be impugned. No one, everybody who serves, great. Okay. Benedict Arnold, Bo Bergdahl, everybody. Once you sign up, you can never do anything that would justify anybody denigrating your military service. Why do we have stolen valor accusations at all? Come to think of it, why do we award military medals at all? Do we, when you see Mark Milley or some other general, colonel, sergeant testifying, see a man pictured in uniform, and you look at the area over their heart, what do you see? You see military medals. How do you get those? How do you get those? Oh, you get them for valor in the line of service. You get them for participating in certain missions. You get them for doing something of distinction, correct? I mean, that's my impression of it. If no one's military service can ever be questioned, why don't we treat officers and enlisted personnel? Why are there officers' clubs on PXs, on bases? Why don't we let everybody in? Because, I mean, they're all equal, right? Everybody's service is the same. You can't question any of it. Nobody should aspire to earn a medal, right, Tim Walz? Like, you can't question anybody. Did you serve in the military? Yes, I served in the military. What were you? I was a colonel in the military. You were? I mean, I didn't know you ever rose above the rank of private first class. No, I was a colonel. Don't impugn my service. You see how inane this is? You see how wrong-headed this is? And the Democrats will say, well, J.D. Vance, okay, so he served in the Marines, but he really didn't serve in combat. I mean, he was in Iraq, and a lot of people died in Iraq, and other people who did his job in Iraq got shot, but he didn't. So, pay no attention to the fact that he was in the Marines because, Tim Walz was a command sergeant major, except he wasn't. And except he kept saying he was. And he kept allowing other people to say that he was. So Tim Walz doesn't want that litigated before people start early voting. And so it won't be, because they'll start early voting in Virginia. They'll start early voting in Pennsylvania. Well, that's a key state, is it not? Pennsylvania. Tim Walz doesn't want to have that debate with J.D. Vance in advance of early voting starting in Pennsylvania. And the debate is going to be on CBS, and the moderators are going to be Margaret Brennan and Nora O'Donnell. Oh, tag team shrews hosting the CBS vice presidential debate. Can't wait for it. JD can handle himself. Walz will get his shoes shined by both ladies that particular night. And we live in a post-truth culture, so whatever happens that night, you will have to see it live if you want to get an accurate accounting of what occurred. Because anything that they can lie about with J.D. Vance, they will lie about. Anything that they can obscure and conceal from Tim Walz, they will do that as well. You know how this works, right? All you have to do is revisit the audio from the head of PBS. Public Broadcasting, they get their money, a big chunk of it, from the American taxpayer. Remember, this was a thing a couple of months ago, and it just sort of vanishes into the ether, but the mindset hasn't changed one little tiny bit, and it won't change prior to the election. Here's the head of PBS talking about the value of truth in our culture today.
I think our reverence for the truth might have become a bit of a distraction that is preventing us from finding consensus and getting important things done.
Oh, that pesky truth. It's become a distraction and an impediment to getting things done. Yeah, it does tend to be an impediment to getting things done when you're lying about things. Or when you're just not answering questions, because you probably will lie. Here's Donald Trump yesterday talking about Kamala Harris. I've said before, he's got to get more specific. Did he get specific here? You be the judge.
They kept him in his basement, and essentially they're keeping her in the basement the same way they kept her. They don't want to expose her to like a question like, what did you have for dinner tonight?
Nope, not even close. They don't want to expose her to a question like, are you in favor of cutting the genitals off minors? Are you in favor of parents not having rights to keep their children from being given puberty blockers if the minor child requests it? Are you in favor of Hunter Biden? Will you pardon him if you are elected? Are you in favor of the continued politicization of the Justice Department? Are you in favor of fracking or not in favor of fracking? Are you in favor of Medicare for all? What mistakes did the Biden administration make at the border that you would change if you were elected president? What gives you the ability to sit across from Vladimir Putin or Xi Jinping and negotiate with them from a position of strength? How much military spending will you commit to in a world that has become increasingly dangerous on the watch of yourself and Joe Biden? Any of those questions would be better questions than,
what did you have for dinner tonight?
Yeah, I don't care what she had for dinner last night. I care what she's going to cram down our throat if she's elected. And you better start asking those questions.
If you have arthritis pain, you know it is awful because it is constant and because it robs you of the ability to do so many things you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with arthritis pain. So many people here in Columbus have been able to get relief without medication or surgery. I'm Bruce Hooley, and I'm happy to tell you about QC Kinetics, which offers you exciting new cellular therapies that can give you lasting relief. QC Kinetics has clinics in Dublin and Gahanna ready to serve you. Dr. Ray Tessner and his staff at QC Kinetics use cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, which revitalizes your joints so you can move again. If you're living with chronic pain from arthritis or injury, you need to know that steroids and surgery and pain pills are no longer your only option. Learn how QC Kinetics can help you. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus, qckinetics.com/Columbus, or call 380-208-4544, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544, QC Kinetics.
Find us at 989theanswer.com. Download our apps. Stream.
Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it very much. Hour number 1 streams on my social sites. Hour number 2 streams on the Bruce Hooley Show Facebook page and on the 989 The Answer Facebook page. I hope you have a great Thursday, as great as the Wednesday that I had with my daughter, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you flip over and watch the rest of the show, thank you very much. Thank you for watching right now, and don't be stupid. You can hate Trump, that's okay. You can be frustrated with Trump, that's okay. It's a choice between awful and better. It's not a choice between perfect and imperfect. It's certainly not a choice between orange man bad and a woman who won't tell you what she'll do with the power that she wants you to give her. I just pray we're not that stupid as a country.
Everything looks good.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're 101.